Thursday, I stepped in the club, there she was, draped in a burgundy dress, silhouette superbly curved indeed. She started staring in my direction, luring and urgent seductively. Body language instructed me. I offered her a drink, instead she took a cup of tea. And then I lied about my luxury lifestyle. Then I said, so who you be, you looking kinda tight, gal. I would love to see you in a nightgown. She said they call me the Dragon Queen and I come from Tibet. I'm calm in the face of pressure and you'll never see me sweat. I've come to your country in search of a lost scroll that contains directions to a hidden village comprised of gold. I looked at her confused and said, but why have you told me this? She said the description that I fit was that of the chosen one, who would go beyond and slip a concoction in my drink that immediately sent my consciousness adrift. I'm in that zone dwelling. I woke in a warehouse, tied to a chair with an abundance of flair surrounding me. The circular angle glared up at the Dragon Queen's lair. I wasn't imagining a thing. Her steps on the stairs and a magic gleam glowed brightly to prepare me for my journey. A sword was hovering towards me, plus garlic for the keepers at the gate who guard all of its secrets and take care of trespassers. But alas, it's prophesied I would gain access to a cultural dynasty buried in season. Capture this scroll. Massive helicopters patrolled the rooftop. Strapped in, began traveling into the darkness. Knew not of what awaited. I thought of a way to get out of it. Just then the bottom gave way. I began falling, gave it 10 seconds. Pulled the cord on my parachute. Landed surrounded by a herd of wild barracudas. Lions, the sound of the wild kingdom piercing like a siren. Was I entering near the mortal lifespan's end? Defiantly I stood boldly as it began closing, and time seemed to be moving rapidly just then. Pulled the sword and somehow it affected all the creatures as they stepped back and bowed. And the same glow that I seen in the sword I seen in the eyes of the lion who began leading me in specific directions of trying to tell me something. Just over the horizon, the same creatures who had been described appeared in statue form, but their eyes scoped. And as I approached the gate, they began to break open and cried, after years we have finally been awakened. The assault was on. I got knocked to the ground by one, shocked in an unorthodox form, boxing, throwing an abnormal proportion of body blows, karate chops and drop kicks, plunged, struggling deep within the swamp. Then I grabbed my sword. The garlic put it around my neck, saw that it was draining all of their energy, and then with a swing off with their heads. The gate slowly and mysteriously opened. Curiously, I moseyed in with intensity, focusing on my objective. Spider webs the size of king-size beds fell in a secret passage, not knowing to where it led. Just then the same light beamed brightly, and in the distance at that instant, lo and behold, the hidden scroll. And just as I thought my mission was over, I could feel the Dragon Queen breathing heavily over my shoulder. She began to transform and metamorphosize. She took on an assortment of legs, arms, heads, and eyes, and sprouted 2 horns, and then began to breathe fire. So once again I grabbed my trusty sword, but to my astonishment, she burned it to a crisp, turned to grasp the scroll, and exit faster than she could gasp and clash of flash further flames casting in my direction. I saw my whole life flashing, the possibility of death in a casket, fastened to the ground, pound for pound, astounded. Now how could I survive and last another round in this madness? Silence, madness.
Understand that for black people, The question of community is not a question of geography. It is a question of color. It is a question of color. If you live in Watts, if you live in Harlem, Southside Chicago, Detroit, West Philadelphia, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, wherever you go, the first place you go is to your people. That is to say that we break down the concept that black people living inside the United States are black Americans. That's nonsense. We got brothers in Africa, we got brothers in Cuba, we got brothers in Brazil, we got brothers in Latin America, we got brothers all over the world, all over the world, all over the world.
Whole house, whole house free.
Listen.